3, 2, 1. And we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. After a very, very long time, finally, we are back and running. It has been a while. People that followed me closely, they know that unfortunately I have apparently a long version of the thing that shall not be named, the Kudatz virus, I like to call it. It has been very, very tough for the past half year or so, and I thought I'm healthy again, but unfortunately I was relapsing, consistently getting sick yet again. From the outside, sometimes you couldn't even tell. I would look pretty healthy. However, internally, this is where it was really happening, and my bones would ache so badly that I couldn't even close my hands. Really, really terrible stuff. Weakness, fatigue. I went with my kid to the playground, and just lifting him feels like 1,000 kilograms. So today, finally, I felt a little bit better, and therefore I thought it's a good way to get back into action and do a live stream. Still, we have plenty of guests lined up, but due to my health issues, I unfortunately wasn't able to start those live streams. God willing, in the next following weeks, I hope that we can finally get them on and make this whole thing a little bit more interactive here, so you're not stuck with only my face, but other scholars potentially, imams, reverts as well. So that should be very, very interesting in the next few weeks. That being said, thank you very much. A viewer of mine actually reached out and sent me some Zamzam water. Unfortunately, that is stuck in Thai customs at the moment as well. So once I figured out all the paperwork, God willing, it should be here. And then, well, let's see what kind of healing properties that has. Other than that, I've been consuming black seed oil due to you guys' recommendation, and I believe that that definitely helped a little bit. Maybe I should dose it a bit stronger. At the moment, I'm taking roughly 2 teaspoons. So some people told me to take 3. So I'll see. Maybe I should up the dosage for that. And I changed my diet, or rather I reverted my diet back to just eating fruits and meat, nothing else. So it has been pretty tough. As a dad, I started enjoying the one or other Thai dish, if you will, but now finally back on track. Super clean eating, just organic meat and fruits. That's all I'm eating. Very, very boring. And drinking water. Yep, definitely very boring, but I feel much better doing that as well. So keeping it super, super clean at the moment, and I will report. Let's see how I will feel on this type of diet. I think that ultimately the paleo diet is trying to achieve exactly that by cutting out the grains. But the paleo diet incorporates a lot of nuts and seeds, and I don't see anything paleoethic about that, and moreover, I don't see anything healthy about that either. Because plenty of those paleo dieters, they take, as I said, nuts and seeds, and then they bake breads with it and whatnot. Or they make paleo bars, and that is definitely not healthy to consume so many nuts and seeds. The carnivore diet I find much more sustainable, but in the long run, people struggle with zero carbs. And therefore, I believe that the healthiest carb source, if you are in a state like me, that you are getting sick consistently, I think that fruits are the way to go. So yeah, super restrictive diet at the moment, just fruits and meat. Very tasty, very enjoyable, but extremely hungry. And some energy dips at the moment as well. So yep, takes a bit of adjusting. Anyways, welcome, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, guys, I pinned the Streamlabs donation button in the chat box. The reason being, of course, super chats are welcome. Thank you very much for your support either way. But Streamlabs doesn't take a 30% cut. YouTube does that. So if you donate $10, YouTube takes $3 just for being YouTube, for hosting this live stream. So yeah, if you go through Streamlabs, then you donate directly to this channel. You don't have to go through YouTube. Thank you very much. As always, I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. super chats and Streamlabs will be, however, prioritized as always. And that being said, I didn't even get a notification here. By Malik, we have a $3 Canadian dollar, I think, donation. Thank you very much. Do you believe Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a prophet of God? I know you've done your research. What do you conclude? I've been asked this question previously. Let me just take a sip of water. For people that follow this channel, you already know that I would consider myself a monotheist either way. So even coming from a Christian Orthodox perspective, I personally never resonated with the Trinity, and therefore I can only see myself as a monotheist, somebody that comes culturally from Christianity. My parents, my cousins, everybody, my family members is Christian. Therefore, I never experienced Muslim culture, which means I never celebrated any Muslim holidays. We only celebrated Easter and Christmas. So this is my cultural upbringing. And the theological doctrine, on the other hand, I do not agree with. The culture itself, I cannot disagree with because that is my culture. It is what it is. However, when it goes into the theology, and I would say that I'm the first one within my family that really started digging deep into the theology of Orthodoxy, you stumble across the Trinity, you stumble across the conceptualization of the Son of God, you stumble across the saints, the so-called saints, and what that entails. So therefore, no, with the theology, I cannot agree. That is that. And therefore, I started looking further into Islam. However, I already believe in one God. That's it. And I do not believe in the three personages of God. I believe in God. That's it. Now, Muhammad being a prophet, after reading the Quran, of course I am inclined to believe that if it is truly Muhammad that revealed, or rather it has been revealed through Muhammad, then I would have to conclude that therefore he must be a prophet of God. There are a few other options, but I went through them already. So for example, the option that he copied from Christians and Jews, but we already discussed it here and you know yourself, then certain mistakes would be copied as well. Other conclusions could be, hey, maybe he was possessed and this all devilish, but at the same time I tried to find the devil within the Quran and I failed there too. So what is the conclusion really here, right? So I'm at a point where I haven't professed that. I still haven't come to terms with it, probably because of what it entails. But at the same time, it is very, very hard for me to not see him as a prophet. It would be extremely strange if he wasn't, if he was a false prophet like David Wood likes to claim, and just misled pretty much the majority of humanity soon, right? Because we see that Islam is growing and expanding, and I don't know how long it will take, but it will be the #1 world religion. I think that is undoubtable, and therefore, sure, you could say it is Satan that deceived most people, but I simply couldn't find the devilish message within it. What I am struggling with, you could say, is still to this day the hadiths. Because even though I talk to people that studied hadiths and they will confirm the authenticity of hadiths, I still don't see God confirming that, if you will. So even if we accept that the Quran is the revelation of God, was there a promise given for that? Yes, there was. But was there a promise given for hadiths? Not really. And this is still what I'm struggling with, to truly accept those hadiths as essentially the word, right? Almost like the gospels that came later, if you will. And then to say, okay, this is trustable, and due to this trustable source, now I'm going to have an image of Muhammad and how he was, how he behaved, because those are sahih. And I find it very hard, because I come from Orthodoxy, because I saw organized religion, and I see so many difficulties with that and so much falsehood as well. And that's why I'm so skeptical. And because of this skepticism, as I said, I cannot truly put my trust into it and say, okay, this is exactly how Muhammad was. You know, and this is what I'm struggling with. Not so much that there was a man, Muhammad, that revealed the Quran. That is fine with me. But the rest, what it entails, how he supposedly was, according to hadiths, that is something that I'm struggling with at the moment. Anyways, that being said, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I hope I gave you an answer. I know it was a bit extensive, but I hope this answered it. Thank you very much. Abdullah, good to see you, brother. Why don't we have a notification sound? 1 second, guys. Let me check something here. The desktop audio is on. Just 1 second, because we don't have any sound for the super chats. Ah, here we go. I think now it should work. The alert box was off. Yeah, I think this will do the trick. Thank you very much, Abdullah. $5, thank you very much. Salam, Bobby, salam. Did you manage to watch the Message movie? Yes, I did. Have you visited any mosques or tried praying alone in the Islamic way? Just give me 1 second, brother. I will be right back. I have to put on the AC in this room because I'm melting talking to you guys. Just 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright. And back again. Excuse the interruption, guys. So, the question was, did I watch the Message movie first and foremost? Yes, I did. I actually watched it with my wife. She was very impressed with it as well. A very puristic movie. I know, obviously, Prophet Muhammad cannot be shown, but it was a shame, I have to say. So, I fully respect it, I get it, but at the same time, such a beautiful story. It would have been very amazing to see him. Of course, it's just an act, but a representation of him would have made the movie even more enjoyable. But yet again, respect where respect is due. The Prophet is not to be shown. However, even further, many companions weren't shown either. So I didn't know that you are not even allowed to show the companions. So Ali wasn't shown, Abu Bakr wasn't shown either. So that was extremely restrictive. It would have been nice if you just showed them from the back or something like that, no faces. I don't know if that is possible. But anyways, be that as it may, the movie nevertheless delivered a very, very pure message. And yeah, no pun intended here, because the movie was called The Message. It was very impressive and showed essentially how Islam came about. And I really loved the quote when it said that this is nothing new. It was always the same message. Again, totally but within the movie, within that context, the way that they represented it, it was very impressive, and it just struck you watching this. It was so crystal clear that it was always the same message of monotheism, and it came to all people, and now it comes one final time. And that being said, it came to such a pagan Arabia that many people cannot even imagine has existed. So for example, my wife, she always thought, okay, Islam, Arabic religion, and Arabs are Muslim, that's it. But quite the opposite, because at that time when Islam came about in Arabia, they were all pagans, right? So it wasn't the Arab Muslims against some pagan tribes. No, it was Arabs versus Arabs, or rather Arabs spreading Islam amongst Arabs. And that is something that many people don't really comprehend at first. And so therefore the movie made it graphic, made it actually visible for people. So even though I started reading, as I said, the biography of Prophet Muhammad, but shame on me, I didn't get too far, unfortunately. The movie itself, this loud. The movie itself, we are visual beings after all, just cemented the message even further. So my wife was extremely impressed by it, I have to say. And for me personally, it was a beautiful reminder. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Other than that, because of my sickness, this is why I didn't go to a mosque. I wanted to visit, and I got in touch even here with people in Thailand. They invited me, some imams, to come over, and I kept on postponing it. Probably the shaitan here at work. Yeah, I really kept on postponing it because I just got sick. I haven't worked out in, I don't know, the last 6 weeks or so. So yeah, it has been tough. But that being said, you know what, I'm not going to even say it. God willing soon. That's all I can say. God willing soon. I don't want to jinx it here. It's in God's hands, and I hope it works out. About the prayer, yes, I tried myself, prostrating, bowing, and all of it. Actually, very interesting story. When I was on Mount Athos, for people that don't know, quick reminder, Mount Athos is an island in Greece, but it's an autonomous region. It's an autonomous region that doesn't fall under Greece, similar to the Vatican in Italy. And on Athos, over 1,000 years, there have been only men, only priests, bishops, monks, and all they do is worship. They just do their church ceremony in their monasteries, worship. That's it. No woman was allowed to step foot on that island for over 1,000 years. It's the craziest thing you can imagine. But yeah, man, it is hard. When you enter there, you get this feeling of dread. It is as if you were in heaven and hell at the same time, because you feel that those people really had to go down that path, and it's almost like a spiritual prison. That's the only way I can describe it. Those people really committed their lives to live there, said goodbye to their families. They're not allowed to see their families anymore, and they're just living in seclusion, praying all day long essentially, and doing the monastic lifestyle by themselves or surrounded by other men. There are no women allowed, as I said. So it is really, really interesting to see. But anyways, when I was there, we were going through the church service, and there was a moment when it just struck me, and I just felt weak in my knees, and I just felt as if I have to bow down. But I really felt it. It wasn't something where I had to go through the motions. I just felt it. I had to go down on my knees because of the greatness of God. And in that exact moment, I just looked to my right, and there was one monk completely dressed in black, long beard, long hair, and he just fell on his knees and prostrated. And in that moment, all of a sudden, it kind of clicked in my head, and I said, oh wow, that's exactly how the Muslims do it. So yeah, well, I guess I'm not gonna do it then. Really, really strange. So that, I would say, was Satan probably, and it was holding me back. And then I looked around, and I saw some other people that came to visit there as well, some outsiders like myself, and they didn't prostrate either, right? And most other monks didn't prostrate either. It was just this one guy next to me. But it never left me. This story stuck with me forever, because I felt the real urge to prostrate to God. It wasn't just, let's do it, let's try, but it was genuine. I had to do it, but I didn't. I stayed away from it because I thought, that's what the Muslims do, so I'm not going to do it. But point of the story is that even the monks, they do it. And on that note, they don't do it on a carpet, dear Muslim friends. They did it on Byzantine rock floor. Yeah, they kneed and bowed on Byzantine rock floor. Super hard. I would know, because this is how I smashed my camera. I took my camera with me and it fell onto that rock and just shattered right away. So super hard material. But yeah, anyways, that being said, even Orthodox monks, priests, they do prostrate. And I think I made a video about that as well, right? Yeah. And this is something that is, for me personally, something that brings you the closest to God. If it's genuine. If you just go through the motions, you won't get the same effect. But if you really feel the greatness of God and then you bow, then it's amazing. I hope that answered the question. Thank you very much for your support, brother. Your brother. Hey, brother. Donated $1. Thank you very much. Hi Bobby, I appreciate your content. You give me the feeling that despite the religion, we can all live together and respect each other. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Even before I was religious, this is how God created me, ultimately. I always believed in one God, and I thought we all believe in one God. That's basically it. When I heard about atheists, it was not only shocking, but something that I couldn't understand. I simply couldn't understand it. I don't get it. And to this very day, I don't get how you can't believe in God. I don't understand what kind of psychology that would be. That's what I loved about the Quran as well, because in the Quran, the way that I understood it, this is my opinion, it clearly displayed that there are believers and non-believers. And it wasn't only religious, or at least that's how I understood it. It didn't feel religious in that sense. It felt like a pure statement. The purest statement of either you are created as a believer or as a non-believer, and that's it. And if you're created as a non-believer, tough luck. There's nothing you can do. And that's what I see when I look at atheists such as Richard Dawkins or Ray Kurzweil, who is a transhumanist. The way that they speak, they sound very intellectual, but it sounds like a child complaining to his dad. It sounds ridiculous to me personally. I cannot comprehend it. Even if I wanted to, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. For me, it's literally like arguing, hey, look at this phone, and it just has appeared out of nowhere. Nobody built this phone. That is literally all I'm hearing when they try to argue against God. It's ridiculous. But anyways, to not rant on for too long, my point is that I always was a believer. I always thought that people believe, and I see that this is the true battle of good versus evil, belief versus non-belief, ultimately. And therefore, yes, I would absolutely agree that people that believe in God and believe in higher morals and values and universal truths, yes, we can all get along, even if we disagree on certain aspects of theology. And I would highly urge to never compromise the truth of theologies and to never mix and match it into what is essentially the Interfaith movement, where we say, I totally respect what you have to say, and it is probably true. No, it's impossible. If you are a Muslim, Christianity cannot be true. If you're a Christian, Islam cannot be true. If you're a Jew, then Christianity and Islam cannot be true. And that is fine. That is totally fine. Stick with it. This is not on what we're gonna agree. And there's really not even a reason to theologically debate there, because it's a matter of faith. So whoever wants to believe, they can believe their version of it. But what we can agree upon is, of course, that we are fighting a greater enemy, and the greater enemy being the devil, which is manifesting in this world throughout all of this degeneracy, right? It is coming for our children now. We see what is going on in kindergartens, what is going on in school. So this is the greater enemy, and under that premise, I believe that the believers can unite. Absolutely. But even Buddhists and Hindus could technically unite under that truth. Now again, when it comes down to which religion is right, there we have to stick to the version of the religion and say, hey, I obey this, and that's that. That's totally cool. Nobody will change each other. A conversion is always possible, of course, but never is the possibility to just agree that we are all equally right. That is absolutely impossible. We can agree upon other truths, as I said, for example, that we have a bigger enemy, bigger fish to fry. So therefore, yes, I was always under the impression that you have good people, bad people, and the good people should unite and do the right thing. As simplistic as that sounds, but that's really how I see life. That's actually very basic. Yeah. Thank you very much, bro. Freddy for Life 2. Thank you very much for the donation, my friend. My second time catching the kudos. I went strictly meat, salt, and lots of water. The kudos. Okay. I call it kurats, not kudos. Oh, that's fine. Kudos was gone in less than a week. If fruit and meat doesn't work, give the meat diet a try for a week. I swear it's the ultimate healing diet. Feel better, Bobby. I absolutely agree, bro. I've been carnivore, and I talked about this extensively on my channel. I know that many people don't know that. I do not talk about nutrition much at the moment. Maybe I will soon again. And yes, I was carnivore for a long time, just eating meat. But here in Thailand, I just couldn't make myself now eat keto only, because I am dehydrated as it is. It is supremely hot here, over 30 degrees consistently. And this is why I said, okay, I'm not gonna not eat tropical fruits this time. I'm just gonna have meat and fruit. It is nevertheless predominantly meat. At a steak cuts. Today I had a little bit of chicken, but other than that, just red meat. And I had pineapple, I had papaya, I had bananas, a few, but not much. It's really not a big quantity. So it is not as if this is a fruitarian diet and then I add a little bit of meat in there. No, it's predominantly meats and then a bit of fruit here to stay hydrated. And yeah, I feel much better already. Today is just day 2, but I feel much, much better. I'm definitely going to stick with that for now. And then if it doesn't work, absolutely, then I will cut out the fruits as well and just go to carnivore. Yes, I agree. It is the absolute healing diet because this is how I healed from veganism. I was vegan for 4 years straight. And then once I started cutting out the plant foods, I saw that I'm feeling better and better and better and better. And in the end, I was left with rice, white rice, and fruits. I felt pretty good, I have to say. But then I cut that out as well and just went full-blown carnivore. And that was the most healing diet I've ever been on, for sure. So I hope that I don't need to do it right now, because I'm not a fan of zero carb. But if I have to, then carnivore is definitely the remedy that I'm going back towards too. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. Javid Benscombe, good to see you, brother. $3, thank you very much. I did it, Bobby. I'm alive. Applause. So good to see you back. For people watching here, Javid Benscombe is a fantastic supporter here, long-time supporter on this channel. However, he went to Ukraine over Poland to get some surgery done, some stem cell surgery. Is it really a surgery or is it just an injection? I don't even know how it works. But anyways, he went over to Ukraine from the States. An epic adventure, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to hear how it went, brother. But first and foremost, most importantly here, you are well and alive. Are you still in the Ukraine or are you back in the States? Today is the 11th December, as far as I remember. Now you're back in the States already. So see, everything went well, and I'm sure you had an adventure. Please let me know how it went, man, and congratulations. Let me know as well if you're feeling better already. That's amazing. Welcome to the channel. Okay. Let me just open up my phone here. The chat box in the phone. That's easier for me. How did you guys like the chat with Imam Tom? I really enjoyed it, man. Imam Tom seems like a genuinely great guy. And he invited me to talk again, so God willing soon we will speak again. Okay, I see a question here in the chat that I want to respond to. Bobby, can you react to the meaning of life in Islam official spoken word? Quick answer, no. Why? I've been getting the request for this video over and over and over and over again. And out of respect for the people that enjoy that type of content, I'm not going to react to it. Why? It's not about what the man has to say. It's about the style of saying it. So this reminds me of poetry slam. Do you guys know poetry slam? It is essentially like clean rap, if you will. So you're rhyming, you're doing poetry essentially. It's literally like bad rap. That's how I see it. I dislike it tremendously. And the Muslim spoken word is poetry slam. That's basically what it is. I cannot stand the format. Nothing against the video, guys. The content might be absolutely fantastic, but I looked into it for half a minute or so. I wanted to react to it, and I always react to videos that I haven't watched, so I clicked on it, opened it up, tried reacting to it, half a minute or so, 30 seconds, I had to shut it off. Because I have absolutely nothing good to say about it. That is my opinion. Yet again, it's not that the content is bad or what he has to say is bad. I just cannot stand that type of talking. This poetry slam, this pseudo-rap. Cringe. Hardcore cringe for me. It's just how I take it. For me, it's cringe. I can't. And that's why. So out of respect, I said, nope, I'm not going to react to it, because I know many people love that video, and that is great. Please enjoy, but without me. I'm out. I cannot react to poetry slam. Thank you very much, though. Did you know that in Quran Allah mentioned that those who associate other gods with him and disbelieve his messengers are the true losers in this life and the afterlife, no matter what they do? Yeah, and that's basically what I agree with. So, again, I see myself as a monotheist, and therefore I agree with the message of the Quran. This is why people ask me as well if there are certain aspects of the Quran that you might haven't really understood. Would you like to know more about them? Absolutely, sure, there is plenty to learn. I cannot say that I now understood the Quran. First and foremost, I only read a translation in English, so obviously I don't understand the fullness of the Quran yet, but I would like to claim that I got the essence of the Quran, which is the pure monotheism. That's what I found within the Quran. And it stands out. As I said before, it looks very different than hadiths as well. The writing style, you cannot compare it at all whatsoever. So yeah, the Quran itself, in its essence, I got the memo. I absolutely got the memo, and I'm most certainly not associating any type of people, beings, saints, human attributes to God whatsoever. We actually had this discussion, a quick talk, with a very, very good friend of mine, and he said that he wants to do the Sabbath now. He wants to rest on the 7th day. And I agreed. I think it's a good idea to rest. Why not? Do it. But he mentioned it in the context of Genesis. And he said that even God himself rested on the 7th day, and therefore we should rest as well. But see, when I was rereading that passage, for me it just looked like a human invention, ultimately. Something that is... Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm gonna read out in a second. Yeah, so as I was saying, for me it's just a human invention. When you try to anthropomorphize God or animals or anything really, you try to make it human so you can relate to it. You try to make it human so you're not afraid of it. I just see right through it. It doesn't make sense to me. God doesn't need any rest. So he doesn't build the world in 6 days and then rests on the 7th. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? And yeah, anyways. When I look at the Bible, I see a lot of metaphorical meaning. And for that, it's absolutely beautiful. I think there's a lot of wisdom in the Bible. And even from a Quranic perspective, I believe that there's great value in reading the Torah, reading the Bible, etc., etc. But always with the lens of pure monotheism, and always with the lens that you cannot attribute anything to God. That for me is just, yeah, blatantly obvious. As I said, as much as I cannot understand atheists, I cannot understand people that attribute certain things to God either. That's just how I am. I've always been like that. Imam Agune, thank you very much for the 500 DZD. I've never gotten DZD before. Let me see what that is. 1 second. DZD. DZD is Algerian dinar. That's new. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Awesome. He says, same. I didn't like the meaning of life video, to be honest. Horrendous. And I'm a Muslim. As I said, has nothing to do with the content. It's about the delivery. And that's it. I hate poetry slam. I can't listen to that stuff. I hate rap with no beat as well. I know music is haram in most instances. But yeah, I cannot stand that. Reciting and this overly dramatic and emotional looking in the camera. 30 seconds, I had to shut it off. I can't. I really can't. I mean, if you want to see that reaction, then okay. I guess. But yeah, for me personally, nah man. This is really hardcore cringe. I can't. Yo Bobby, you watch Dragon Ball? Not anymore. Now I have no time for that, but not only did I watch Dragon Ball, but I read the mangas. Back in the day, there were 42 mangas from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, and that was before it was called Dragon Ball Z. And I read them all, back to back, over years on end. There was nothing else I was reading. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. I am a huge fan. Javid, again, thank you very much, bro. Yes, sir, I'm back in the States. See, I calculated that correctly. I'll send some images on Instagram, even though I was hundreds of miles away from the battlefield, of course. And the nearest missile landed 7 miles away from me. I actually was closer to death in a Poland train station. Poland can be dodgy, man, that is for sure. And that is what you were afraid of, right? The second ride on the train where you're not riding first class. So was it really attached to that? Anyways, thank God you survived, man. That's the most important thing. But see, you have a story to tell, I told you. You will always have a story to tell, man. Yeah, definitely send it my way on Instagram. And I will double check, bro, for sure. I have so many requests again. Sorry, guys, I'm always trying to answer as many comments as I can. DMs on Instagram, but it's crazy. I cannot censor it right now, so I cannot show you here. I don't want to expose the names, but I could scroll forever. It never stops. It's insane. So thank you very much for wanting to reach out to me, but at the moment I really cannot answer all of you guys. It's too many. Are you planning on doing any more videos on Sheikh Hakim Murad? Yeah, sure, why not? If there's a cool video, for sure. Would be great to have him on as well. If he would grace us with his presence, would be nice to talk to him as well. Okay, just 1 second. Let me refresh the chat here. Are you going to react to all the other prophet stories in Islam? Yeah, why not? I might. I'm not planning on anything in particular, to be honest. I simply get your guys' recommendations and then I just watch them. That's how complex my research is. Thank you very much again, Javid. He says, I have to say I agree with you about a cappella rap. Exactly, that's the name, a cappella rap. I think part of the art form is flowing to a beat. Absolutely, man. And that's essentially what poetry slam is about. It is a cappella rap with no beat. Like that, you have, of course, many excuses to not be in the flow. I hate it. I can't stand it whatsoever. For me, it's the cringiest art form there is. That's why. So yes, rap, that is the biggest art form, essentially, to flow on the beat. And this is how you have many mumble rappers, etc. Not all of them are bad, I really have to say, because they flow on the beat. Gucci Mane was one of the first guys to use certain words and certain combinations of sentences that not necessarily were very deep or had any meaning, but they just sounded amazing on the beat. And he started making those noises, brr, brr, and all that stuff. But yeah, it sounded great on the beat. And that is the real art of rap. Because how rap originated, back in the day it was all about the DJ. So it was all about the beats. And then the MC, he was announcing the DJ. That's how it started, right? And so then he would just flow a little bit on the beat. And then the DJ takes it away. And just, you basically have like a hip-hop techno party, ultimately. It was not about the vocals. But nevertheless, again, the MC had to hit the beat, introduce the beat correctly. The beat was the most important thing. So then it developed from there on, and therefore, yes, rap is based upon the beat. Rap has to flow with the beat, and that is the whole art form. So if you don't have that, you have poetry slam, and yet again, I cannot stand it. It's absolutely terrible for me. I cringe every single time I hear it. Please react to Yusuf Estes' convert story. Yeah, I would like to. I've been getting recommendations for that as well, but that thing is over an hour. So very, very hard to respond to that. We have a Bobbysperspective 2.0 in the chat that is fake. So bro, please don't copy me. Don't mislead my viewers. There are many bots. Guys, I would never, never ask you to write me on WhatsApp. Okay, please, use your brain. I have bots, many, many bots there, infiltrating my chats, infiltrating my comment section, and they pose as me. and they tell you, hey, let's talk and contact me via my WhatsApp number. Yeah, sure, I would never do that. Okay? So please do not fall for those tricks. All my contact information is in the description box, even now. So just head over there and contact me via that description box. If I answer, great. If not, that's it. I would never ask you to contact me via WhatsApp, and never would I contact you first. So, yeah, be warned. Hey Bobby, fairly new to your channel. I was curious to know what was the incident which got you into learning more about Islam. I talked about this on the Imam Tom podcast. It was essentially when I went to Mount Athos. Again, for people that are just tuning in, Mount Athos, over thousands of years, just monasteries. A monastic island with only priests and monks. Nobody else is on that island. Actually, you know what? Let's make this a bit more interactive. The stream has been too basic for a very long time. It's time to make this a bit more interactive. Just give me a second. Let me try to show you something here. Boomer Bobby is in full effect as always. Check this out, guys. Now we're gonna watch something together. Let's make this a bit more entertaining and educational at the same time. Okay, let's watch this here. Why not? A bucket ma. That is Thai commercial. Okay. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to set something up for you. Believe me, you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, video capture device. Display capture. Yeah, browser. I'm almost there, guys. Almost there. Any minute now. Any second. Yeah, I'm great with technology. I'm really wondering how I started a YouTube channel. It's quite amazing. I have no idea how I did it. But somehow it works. Okay, here we go. Fantastic. That's great. Actually works much better than expected. Amazing. Thank you very much. Theater mode, like this. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, let me read out the super chat and then we're going to return to this. Javid, thank you very much again, brother. He says, good memory, Bobby. Yeah, the train ride from Poland to Kiev was direct, but not the ride back. Exactly. When I had to switch trains, my train was 2 hours late. Plus, it was scheduled 2 hours after my drop-off, so 4 hours in total. I couldn't handle waiting and freezing for that. Oh, 1 second. It cuts off here. 1 second, bro. Just have to double check something. I cannot read it out here. 1 second. Sounds interesting though. And you were so afraid of that second ride, man. It all makes sense now. You manifested your fear. 1 second. Let me try to open this up. Unfortunately, it cuts off the message. Okay, here we go. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. Just 1 second, guys. Almost there. And here we are. Okay, I think I can see your message now. Can I see it in totality? Loading, loading, loading. It doesn't show the whole message. Streamlabs, what's the point? What is the point, Streamlabs? Why do you allow long texts, but then you don't show the whole text? Bro, it cuts off after I couldn't handle waiting and freezing for that. That's where it cuts off. And I have absolutely no way to read the whole message. It's unfortunate. But that's literally where I'm stuck at. So I couldn't handle waiting and freezing for that. Bam. That's where it cuts off. It does not continue. That's all I can read off. From what I can read here, yeah, sounds like an epic adventure, as I said. Of course, things like that have to be calculated. I know that your biggest fear was to not be able to catch the flight back home. So with such a delay, I'm sure that you actually missed that flight as well. It's quite interesting, no? That those fears that we have actually manifest in our life. So the more we concentrate on them, then they actually do show up. Anyways, just post it in the regular chat, bro. I'm gonna try to find it there. And continue reading. We have another super chat, thank you very much, by Maiden Dude. $10, thank you. That's the biggest donation today. Thank you very much, Maiden Dude. Regarding God needing to rest, read the Quran, Surah 2, verse 255 and Surah 50, verse 38. It's amazing how the Quran addresses the lies told about Allah and His prophets. Let's do it. Surah 2, verse 225. Let me copy this. Surah 2, verse 255. Al-Baqarah, right? Here we go. See? Did I promise too much? It is so much more interactive now. Amazing! We can actually watch this together. So, there is no God worthy of worship except Him, the ever-living, all-sustaining. Neither drowsiness nor sleep overtakes Him. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Amen. Absolutely. The way that I see it, He is the sustainer, right? I believe that this is one of the names of Allah as well. So, if He is the sustainer, just a very basic example. Right now, this stream here is sustained through electricity. Of course, many other things as well, but let's just take a very basic example, electricity, okay? So, if we shut the electricity off now, there is no stream. There is absolutely no stream. If we shut off all the electricity, there is no internet, there is no mobile devices, there is no TV, no nothing. If there is no electricity, there is no technology. So everything is dependent upon the electricity. And that's how I see it. So if God is the sustainer, and He sustains all of its existence here that we have, if He rests, then we are screwed. Then we are all lost. Because if He rests, He shuts down, then everything turns off. All of this is gone because it depends upon Him. All of it is gone. Absolutely. Without God sustaining it, there is absolutely no way for it. And that's why, so to say that God took a rest, it's, let's say, pretty comical at best and blasphemous at worst. Yeah, absolutely. And we had another verse, right? Surah 50, verse 38. Surah 50, verse 38. What do we got here? We created the heavens and the earth and all that is between them in 6 days, and weariness did not even touch us. I don't even remember this. There's like a flex. There's like a diss. I love this about the Quran. Very often it just debunks it right away and tells you exactly what happened. It's hilarious. So yeah, it has been created in 6 days, but weariness did not even touch us. That's, yeah, it's a boss move. It's amazing. Okay, thank you very much for the super chat and the laughs. This was really, really cool. Now Javid again. Couldn't handle freezing for 4 hours. The station is designed outdoor, so the only place I could somewhat warm up is in the bathroom. This Polish lady was screaming at me because I think I had to pay, but then she realized I was turning blue and left me alone. Yeah, that is absolutely horrendous, man. And yeah, Polish winters. Polish winters can be absolutely rough, that is for sure. German winters at the moment, they're predicting minus 20 degrees. And at the same time, very strange, we have a power shortage as well. How can that happen? It's very, very weird. Probably has nothing to do with HARP weather technology, right? It's probably not at all to do with that. Yeah, quite crazy. Europe is facing very, very, very tough times, so I'm very glad to not be there at the moment. Thank God I'm in Southeast Asia. And thank God again, bro, that you survived this. It's harsh in Europe, man. But you got it done. And please let me know. Please let me know how you feel now, if you already feel improvement through that stem cell therapy, and how long it takes usually for it to actually show its results. Anyways, now back to what I initially wanted to do. I wanted to play a video, something that I haven't done in ages here on this channel as well. This is actually Mount Athos. So I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know if I'm going to get copyright striked or not. Might be. So I'm just going to play the video. No, this has nothing to do with the LGBT, guys. I promise. The question was why I started researching Islam, essentially. So this is Mount Athos. What you can see here in the back is the literal mountain. And the whole thing is an island / half island. It's still a little bit connected to the mainland. This is an autonomous region. It is in the region of Greece, but it's autonomous. It has its own government, so to speak, a theocracy. They even go by the old calendar on Mount Athos, which is pretty epic if you ask me. So Mount Athos is filled with monasteries, as you can see. Let me make myself a bit smaller. It's filled with monasteries, and Orthodoxy is a bit different than Islam when it comes down to ethnicity. So within Islam, it is crystal clear, it's all Arabic. However, in Orthodoxy, we have different branches of Orthodoxy, different churches. So we have the Serbian church, we have the Russian church, we have the Bulgarian church, we have the Roman church, we have the Greek church. And on Mount Athos, all of those ethnicities are represented. And they all hold the liturgy, which is essentially the songs and the Mass, in their language. So if you enter a Greek church, then it's in Greek. If you don't speak Greek, it's tough luck, that's on you. You won't understand the liturgy. If you don't understand Bulgarian, if you don't understand Serbian, etc., you name it. And on this island, as I said, you have people living there, and they're all male. So they're all monks, they're all priests, archbishops, and whatnot. Some of them live in seclusion, in caves, very similar to what Prophet Muhammad did. And no woman is allowed to enter there for over 1,000 years. They kept Orthodoxy the way that it was. And so therefore, if you would like to look into Christianity, that would be the most authentic version of Christianity. At least the canonized Christianity. Potentially different from the Christianity of the disciples. Potentially different from the Christianity prior to the establishment. But nevertheless, it is the OG Christianity, the canonized Christianity. So as you can see, let me show you this. The man here wakes up and the first thing he does is praying. He does it in a seated position. And however he prays, as you can see, this is the Jesus prayer. He prays, Lord Jesus Christ, Son and Word of God, have mercy on me. And they do this like a mantra. As you can see, he just repeats that. Let's see, maybe you can hear it. And he continues, Holy Mother of God, save us. Because they're praying to the Theotokos, which is Mother Mary, and they believe that it is the Mother of God. All of which I fully disagree with. And this basically sums up already what brought me to Islam, because when I went to Mount Athos, I had a pretty rough journey, because to enter this bastion, ultimately, and I want to show you some other scenes as well, you have to get a visa, ultimately, and you have to apply at a certain monastery that they will take you in, that you will be able to live there for a while, that you will be able to sleep there for a while. I didn't know that, so I didn't do it. And therefore, I was left alone, essentially, wandering through this island, through the forest, through the mountains, and looking for a place to stay. And I was looking, and some people didn't leave me in. it was already full, or they couldn't take any strangers in or whatnot. It was very, very complicated. But then in the end, one monastery actually took me in, and we started talking about who I am, why I went to Mount Athos, and I told them that I read about the ecumenical councils and how I was against ecumenism. Ecumenism is where they try to mix Christianity again back into one Christianity. They take Orthodoxy, they take Catholicism, Protestantism, and they want to bring it all back into a mishmash of new Christianity. And so I ended up in a monastery that was hardcore against it. They even call them the Christian Talibans. Whatever, it's ridiculous, but this is how they're called in the Greek media. And it was there that I just felt so guided by God, because all the research that I did, this was the representation of it. And when I arrived there, the monks looked at me, somebody like this guy here, but a bit younger, and they hugged me, and all they had to say is, wow, it must have been Mother Mary that guided you. And for me, that was the cringiest thing I've heard so far. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. And again, I'm not saying this to insult anybody that believes in it. If that is your belief system, if you believe that Mother Mary is the mother of God and this is how you connect to God, okay, up to you, man. I cannot change that, nor do I want to change that whatsoever. For me personally, it just didn't add up. For me personally, as I said, it made me cringe. It didn't make sense. I knew in my heart that it was God that brought me there, and I had to make that experience. And that experience itself made me oppose this theology. Because I thought as a Christian, sure, okay, we have Mother Mary and we have Jesus, and the Muslims do not. The Muslims, they have Muhammad, and that's it. But I didn't know that we actually worship those people. That didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And again, I appreciate the monastic lifestyle. The Quran speaks about it as well. Those are humble people, as you can see here in the background. The man is collecting grapes, I think. And yeah, you know, he's living in seclusion there, living his life, trying to please God. I totally respect it. And I know a brother of a personal friend of mine who went over there, became a monk as well, left the worldly life. I respect it. It's a beautiful thing in itself. It's not for me personally, but I get it. However, that being said, I don't agree with the theology. I just cannot. I can't. Even if I wanted to, I really can't. And I tried. I tried to make it work. I tried to believe in the Trinity. I tried to believe in all of it. But I simply couldn't. And so therefore, in the end, it was not in me. The Trinity was not in me. So yeah, as I said, by even seeing this, I get nostalgic. It's really the case. I have so much love for those people, and they were hearty people, and I truly believe that those people are led by God in a way. But I don't think that this is the purest of truths. I simply do not see it. And yeah, that basically led me to research Islam. Yep. That's how it came about. Anyways, I'm going to let this run in the background so you get a idea of Mount Athos and what life over there is. Here, there you can see it. So now they're starting the Holy Liturgy, that's how it's called. They're just worshipping all day long, man. That's their life. It's really impressive stuff, I have to say. But sad as well, very sad. Because you understand that those people have to be there. I talked to a doctor over there, and he said, I mean, ex-doctor, and he said that he used to be a surgeon and whatnot. But ultimately he was haunted by the devil and he couldn't profess his job any longer. And the only way to get away from the devil is by getting to Mount Athos, where he's still haunted by the devil, but at least they have some warfare against the devil. And he's fighting the devil over there as a monk now, which is extremely dire to hear, because this man truly, he was in the world, he worked as a doctor, and the devil didn't allow it. He couldn't keep his job, he couldn't keep his family. He had to become a monk in order to find his way towards God. It's the wildest thing, man. So yeah, those guys, they don't see any women, man. They're just worshiping God. And of course the stuff that is attached to it, which, again, brought me personally away from it. Javid says, Mother Mary leading you made you cringe. Lol. Yeah, again, it's not that I have an issue with Mother Mary either. But even when you read in the Bible, she's not portrayed as somebody that is a saint and now you have to worship her. Even Jesus talked pretty rough with her as well. He addressed her as woman quite often. Woman, what do you want from me? Etc., etc. And yeah, ultimately I didn't see her as somebody that has to be worshipped, but somehow depictions everywhere, and now we have to worship Mother Mary, and she is leading us and guiding us. And that's not how I see the world. For me, it's all from God. Either it comes from God or it doesn't come from anywhere. Yo tipped $3 and says, yo, thank you very much, yo. Appreciate it, bro. Bobby, are you considering converting to Islam? I mean, what gave it away? Yeah, so for me personally, it's a funny question, to be totally honest, because if I wouldn't consider it, why would I even do all of this here? Why would I do live streams about it? Why would I do reaction videos about it if I wouldn't consider it? So that for me doesn't make any sense. All my life was a striving towards God, and I realized that more and more the older I get. So ultimately for me it was always about coming the closest I can to God. And therefore if God wants me to convert to Islam, I will gladly do it, because all I want is to please God. Yeah. Does the Bible say that people should become monks? Because in the Quran it says that Allah didn't command them to do so. No, it's not commanded. And yet again, this is what we can distinguish within Christianity. We have a monastic class, so to speak. We have priests, etc., etc. But it's not something that God commands them to do. They don't have to do it. It's essentially like imams or sheikhs. So if you feel a calling, which in my opinion comes from God, then sure, go for it. But it's not that you have to do that in order to be a Muslim, for example, right? You don't have to become a sheikh in order to be a Muslim. And it's the same with Christianity. You don't have to be a monk. But it's the same with some Sufis. And I'm not talking about Sufis that went into whatever, grave worship, etc., etc., but simply Sufis that are Sunnis, ultimately. However, they like to live an ascetic life. So they fast a lot, or they give away their riches and whatnot. It's not that this is asked of them, they don't have to do that, but this is how they get closer to God, how they feel they get closer to God, and that is totally fine. That is an option that you have in this life. You don't have to. Yeah, that's why. So people that want to see this as something bad then, because, hey, this hasn't been commanded necessarily, yet again, it's what they felt they have to do. Yeah, those are the priests and archbishops. Now looking at it, you can clearly see, of course, the Roman influence on it, the way that it is displayed. Those are the icons. Yeah. Again, even being there, when I saw people kissing icons, it just, yeah, never made sense to me. When I went into the churches, into the monasteries, everybody kissed the icons, and I just couldn't do it. I tried doing it, but it just didn't make sense to me. What's the point? I just didn't understand why I would kiss that picture, and what would it do to me? And why would God need me to kiss that picture? It's senseless to me. Doesn't make sense. As you can see now, they're carrying this big icon, supposedly to mean a lot, and people are touching it and kissing it. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. And at that time I wished I would. I was there and I felt like a traveler. I didn't feel necessarily like I came into my own faith. I read the book of Father Seraphim Rose, who was a Californian, an American convert to Orthodoxy, and he became a big church father later on, and now they consider him to be a saint. But that being said, Seraphim Rose said something very peculiar. He said when he entered the church for the first time, it felt like home. He just felt home. It all clicked in his mind, and that's it. And I believe him. But for me, culturally, as I said, sure, this is all my culture, but it didn't feel like I was home there. It just didn't. I felt like something that I'm visiting, essentially. Almost like when I was visiting the Buddhists in Thailand. I knew that it's not me necessarily. I was practicing their meditation practices, I was sweeping their floors, I was eating their food, but still, it felt like their type of religion. And it was kind of the same with the venerating icons, kissing icons, etc., etc. Anyways, so much about Mount Athos. I hope you like this little excursion here. I'm totally dissolving. Can you see that, guys? I'm losing my eyeballs here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Back at it. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody, for the super chats. Appreciate it. Merci beaucoup. Dankeschön. Teşekkürler. Power. Jesus never preached about a Trinity. He is just a prophet of God. Yeah. Bobby, can you react to Asma ul Husna? It's very good by Coke Studio. Yeah, I saw that, but it seems like a song, man. And that will definitely get me copyright striked. So I cannot. Have you looked at Judaism? Yeah, I did. Briefly. I cannot say that I looked into it as I did with Islam. For me, it's basically, yeah, many discrepancies. So, for example, if you read the Bible, you read Genesis. Genesis is part of Judaism. One aspect of it we just discussed here on this channel. Thank you very much. Which is God creating the world in 6 days and then resting on the 7th. I cannot agree with that, and I know that it's found in Judaism as well. This is why you have the Sabbath, for example. God does not rest. So, yeah, God does not rest, and therefore I cannot believe that this statement is true to begin with. And this is the origin story, and I already disagree with the origin story, so how could I believe that? And moreover, Judaism denying Jesus, I will never be able to deny Jesus either. So I just know that I can't. Ultimately, when you look into religion, of course, we're trying to transform ourselves, but I believe that only God can transform us. However, there are certain things, as I said, that I cannot change in myself because I already tried. So what I try to get out of me, or rather to get into me, is the Trinity. I try to get it into me. That would be the right way of saying it. And yeah, I try to understand the Trinity. I try to understand that Jesus is God after all. And it just never clicked. It never made sense. I tried to make myself, couldn't do it. And to this very day, I will never be able to do it. I will not be able to see Jesus as God, as fully God and fully human, that is. It's impossible to me. It doesn't work that way. And because it doesn't work that way, I cannot change that. And at the same time, I know that I always believed in Jesus. And I cannot take him out either. So I don't believe in the Jewish doctrine, especially not of the Talmudic doctrine, that Jesus is defiling himself in his own excrement. Yes, that's what the Talmud says, right? So yeah, definitely can do that. And ultimately, therefore, Judaism is not for me either. I see with Judaism a form of monotheism, but then a lot of man-made inventions again. That's how I see it. Yeah. Okay. Another super chat by Abdullah Alk. Thank you very much. $10. Since we are being more interactive, how about a live reaction video? No pressure, haha. Okay, let me just look into it. Depends on the length, depends on the content as well. But for super chats, usually I at least look into it, that's for sure. Let me see what we got.
Assalamualaikum.
1 second.
Hear the word.
Ah, cool. Sharia law, misconceptions about amputation. Yeah, I'll give you a live reaction, no worries. It's not gonna be as flashy as my reaction videos. On my live streams, I'm usually a bit more laid back, and we don't have any jump cuts, etc., etc., nor do we have additional graphics. But yeah, all good, man. I gladly watch this. I look like a cyborg. 1 second. Let me adjust the camera a bit, or rather the green screen. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Fantastic. Sure, I check it out. Thank you very much for the super chat donation. Guys, if you want to watch something, then sure. If you donate via super chat, I'm at least gonna open it up and have a look. If not to do a full reaction to it. Absolutely, that's what super chats are for. I said it a billion times before, and I hate advertising it, but this is how you support the channel. So we are demonetized quite often, shadow banned, etc., etc. So by your donations, you make this channel work in the long run. It's just what it is. So through your support,
Let's create a bright,
you very much.
future where we all feel compassion.
Through your support, I'm able to do this. So thank you very much. And if you want to donate, then you can attach any question you want. I can answer it right away. Or you can add a video or an article or whatnot. You can add anything you like, basically, and I will react to it. That's what super chats are for. So thank you very much. Okay, let us watch the video. We have Sharia law, misconceptions, amputation by Muslim Central. I hope the sound is alright.
Let's say you hear the word Sharia.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind? You'd probably imagine a dark, scary place with women in chains, bearded men carrying knives, and malnourished hands being cut off for stealing food. In reality,
Yeah, I have to agree. This is what I was literally picturing. Ultimately, yeah, niqabs everywhere. Everybody's dressed in black. You will never see a woman's face again other than your mother, sister, and wife. And moreover, you cannot even move necessarily. You are restricted in movement, women, of course, as well. And harsh punishments. There is absolutely no social life anymore. And I believe that Sharia is for mad people, religious fanaticists, crazy people that do not appreciate our democracy. And those are the crazy people that want Sharia. That's how I saw it.
the Sharia is none of that. So what is the Sharia? What does it mean? And why does it chop people's hands off? Let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Sharia in Arabic literally means a flowing spring or a watering hole.
It's always something
Technically,
beautiful, no?
Sharia is a body of law that
I thought that it just means the law. I didn't know this.
governs not only religious rituals, but also aspects of everyday life in Islam. It's the idea of God's law which aims to protect the faith, intellect, wealth, health, and lineage of an individual and the society at large.
Yeah, ultimately, if you look at this, and if you actually research all kinds of alternative systems, so you look at our democracy, at liberalism, then you look at communism, then you look at Buddhism, you look at a theocracy, then you look at the different theocracies, and ultimately Sharia doesn't seem so crazy at all anymore, because you realize, okay, this is about preserving family structure, this is about preserving morals, ethics. Ultimately, if you look into conservative America, conservative politicians, this is what you want. This is what you actually want. You actually want Sharia. You think you want conservative politics, but either you want Sharia or you want liberalism. So, and this is really what it boils down to, because all of those conservatives actually are just liberals, nothing else.
And just like any other broad legal concept, the Sharia is a unified whole that contains within it tremendous diversity. Sharia can primarily be divided into.
I don't know about the tremendous diversity, and I'm not a scholar, so therefore I cannot say. I talked to Imam Tom, and he studied Sharia law, and he said that there is some diversity when it comes down to what kind of punishment you want to give, or what is the least amount of something you have to do. He gave me the example of wudu, when you clean yourself before prayer, and you should clean your head. So now there are certain schools of thought that try to find out what the minimum is that you have to do. And so they came to the conclusion that you have to at least clean yourself here. That's it. But they all agree that you have to clean your head. That's it. So some say the whole head, and some say just here, and that's enough. So therefore, I'm skeptical when it comes down to a lot of diversity in Sharia law.
Belief, aqidah. like belief in God and His prophets. Practical rulings, fiqh, such as laws pertaining to food and drink. Character and morals, akhlaq, like kind treatment to one's spouse and parents. Much of the Sharia deals with day-to-day rulings, with sometimes the odd question like, can I eat a crocodile, or can I bathe in tea? Now, let's get to the hand-chopping part.
That is the interesting part of Islam, because there's always an answer to everything.
Shall we? In Islam, punishments are known as hudud, literally meaning prevention, restraint, or prohibition, and they fall under fiqh, comprising only less than 10% of it. The hudud for a person who steals is to have one of their hands amputated.
Yes.
Hearing this, you might imagine hands being chopped off for all kinds of petty theft, but the reality couldn't be more different. Simply because, whenever a crime occurs, Sharia law requires due court process to take place, and the accused is innocent until proven guilty.
Okay.
Furthermore, there are more than 60 conditions that need to be fulfilled for the amputation verdict to be actually carried out. Some of these conditions are as follows. The item was stolen from a secure place, having a value of more than 10 dirhams of Meccan weight. The thief is an adult, of sound mind, not insane, and committed the crime out of his own free will. He was neither under duress, nor was he drunk, or motivated by hunger. The crime was witnessed by 2 witnesses of upright nature who do not disagree or retract their testimony. A month has not passed since the crime occurred. The thief, he or she, is neither a uterine relative nor the spouse of the person they stole from, and so on and on until all the 60+ conditions are fulfilled.
Ultimately, for me personally, I do not need those conditions. I get it, it's nice, he wants to show that actually it is not as strict as people think it to be, and there are many conditions that have to be fulfilled before such a thing, such a bad thing happens. But for me personally, it makes sense. You shall not steal. And that's within the Bible as well. And I do not want to live in a society where people get robbed. I mean, look at Brazil. People get shot for phones. It's absolute insanity. And I've been robbed as well in Vietnam. They ripped apart my gold chain. That thing was worth, I think, 3,000 euros or something like that. They ripped that thing off. Absolutely insane. So, point of the story is, there should be harsh punishments for stupid crimes like that. If you're not stealing because you're just dying of hunger, you had absolutely no other choice, you stole all of your own free will, yes, there should be an implication of losing your hand. Why not? With that, society is safer. If you are not a thief, you should have nothing to fear, and with that, you can be happy about that ruling, because it doesn't apply to you anyways.
Let's create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
Thank you very much, gonna read out in a second.
The judges are also expected by law to take into consideration the examples set by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to ward off capital punishments via ambiguities as a divine command. Any theft that does not meet all these conditions would receive a ta'zir, a discretionary punishment. This is why most hudud punishments are actually very difficult to implement, and simply stealing a piece of bread would not call for an amputation. So why does the Sharia prescribe such punishments when it's so difficult to prove them? The answer lies in understanding the nature of hudud, which is to deter a person from committing a crime.
Yeah,
As
prevention.
hudud punishments are daunting and intimidating, it helps potential criminals, people in general, to stay away from it, which is why historically, the lands in which hudud was implemented in totality saw very little crime.
Good, nice. Wait, I'm gonna stop this, guys. Please, no disrespect intended, but they're all copyrighted. All of those recitations are copyrighted, and therefore I have to fast forward. Unfortunately, it's really a shame. I tried it multiple times, and believe me, it's not about the ad revenue. It is because YouTube copyright strikes, and like that, they're shadow banning my channel again. And this is why oftentimes you hear a Quran recitation being muted here on my channel. It is due to YouTube, and it is due to Salam Network. Thank you very much. Salam Network, yeah. it is a TV channel, apparently an Arabian TV channel, that copyright strikes my channel every single time I display a Quran recitation. It's very, very pathetic. Yeah. It's due to those guys. Say thanks to Salam channel.
Not.
Right.
Set by the Quran says, these are the limits set by God, so near them not. Theory of Utilitarianism by Jeremy Bentham gives logic to the matter at hand. He proposed the equation expected punishment or deterrent power equals to severity of punishment times probability of getting caught. E equals S times P. In simple words, if there is little chance of being caught, then the law has to be harsh enough to discourage a person from even thinking of committing a crime due to the severity of punishment, and therefore, frightening punishments are seen as a way to deter potential criminals. Subjecting thousands of petty criminals to hudud is not the intention. Scaring them into not breaking the law is.
Makes sense.
Tough requirements for carrying out hudud, the divine obligation to ward off punishments via ambiguities, presumption of innocence, and a fair and balanced court system are the essential pillars on which the Sharia is built upon. Given the alarming rate at which crimes are snowballing in the modern world, the hudud punishments under the Sharia provide an alternate proven solution to the conventional system, which
Sure.
is expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective at keeping a check on crime.
Yeah, and unjust as well. Right now, I'm going to try to say this without, again, getting striked here by YouTube. The Taliban, they allowed a public of a guy that committed a murder, and the father of the man that has been murdered, or the wife, I'm not sure who has been murdered, but the father of that person was actually the man that could execute that murderer. And I think that's very just. They gave the father of the victim the revenge. And everybody loves Hollywood movies, and they love revenge movies. They love Liam Neeson when he revenges his daughter. No? Everybody loves that. And therefore it's just hypocritical to be against it, in my opinion. So I think that is true justice. I don't know if you saw that, guys. Cain Velasquez, who was the heavyweight champion in the UFC, he caught the wrestling coach molesting his son. Yeah. And so he went after him and he tried to shoot him. He didn't even shoot the guy. He tried to shoot him. He missed. And he got into prison, and he had to stay in prison for almost a year and whatnot. And now they're still trying to figure it out. Now he's out on bail, thank God, super complicated. And the guy is still free. Right? The molester is still free. It's absolute insanity. So where's the justice there? Who tells us that our justice system is so just? It's not.
This video is brought to you by
Okay, that was already it. Hey, thank you very much, brother. Really appreciate the super chat and the video. It was fun reacting to it. This was actually a video that I could have reacted to in my regular videos as well. It's a very good video for people to find out a little bit about Sharia law. As I said, me personally, I've done already some research, and looking at this society fall apart, you can only appreciate Sharia law, to be totally honest. Okay, thank you very much for that. Now let me get back to the other super chats. 1 second. We have a bunch. Thank you very much, everybody that is supporting the channel here. Thank you. Okay, where are we at? Wow, plenty of super chats. Thank you so much, guys. Let me give you an applause. Zara Met tipped $3. Thank you very much, Zara Met. Assalamu alaikum, Bobby. Alaikum salam. Have you dug into the lifestyle of Breatharians? Yes. Do you think they're only truly living on the occasional glass of water, or is it just another lie? Let me put it this way. I tried to become a Breatharian whilst I was a fruitarian. So I was a fruitarian for a long time. At least 1 year straight I only ate fruits and nothing else. And then after that I got back to raw veganism, where I had salads with it. But predominantly I was just eating fruits for over a year. And I was fasting extensively. I was fasting 24 hours every single day. And then I would just eat fruits. Crazy. But that being said, in that time frame, 24 hours of fasting, I tried to get closer to the sun and to breathe the prana, baby. And like that, I believe that ultimately I will become a breatharian. So for me, it did not work. Now, that being said, just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean it doesn't work for anyone. I still do like to believe, let's put it that way, do like to believe that there might have been, some spiritual masters that potentially achieved it. Maybe. I doubt it, but it might be possible. I would like to believe that, right? But it's definitely not your typical New Ager hippie that is tripping on shrooms here in Thailand and tries to become super enlightened. That's definitely not how it works. And I tried, as I said. And in this whole world of Breatharianism, especially what you see nowadays on YouTube, you see a lot of quagmires, you see a lot of con artists, and therefore I would say that it's, with conviction, at least 99.99%, that is scamming people, and they're definitely not Breatharians. But I don't want to rule it out, yet again. We are ignorant and arrogant on many topics as humans, and therefore I heard some epic tales, some miracles, some people living on the divine prana and whatnot. Maybe it's possible, who knows? I don't want to discard it completely. I believe that those people wouldn't be in touch with anybody anyways. They would live in a cave by themselves, and they wouldn't, have a YouTube channel. So, no, the Breatharians on YouTube that I've seen, and I talked to some of them as well, and they would always tell me that, yes, sometimes I eat, but not because I need to. Just because I enjoy this human experience as well, but I don't have to, it's fine. Like, I just live off air, and sometimes I just drink a lot of coconuts, but not because I have to. Yeah, sure. Why do you do it then? If you don't have to, if you're living on God energy, then you would never have to do it. So again, 99% for sure fake, but there is potentially somebody out there, who knows? Thank you very much, Zeramet. One Truth, super chatted 10 euros, thank you very much. One Truth, he says, I've been into New Age and meditation before, but the longing for something else was always there. Since being Muslim for 3 years, I haven't felt an ounce of need to look for anything else. It's incredible. Hey, that is incredible. I had a guy contacting me, and he said that he was into the New Age, etc., etc., and then he converted to Islam. He comes from a Christian background, I believe. And then he stayed Muslim for 4 years, and then he did shrooms again, right? And that completely brought him away from Islam. Thank you very much, I'm gonna read out in a second. And he reached out to me and told me, hey man, just do mushrooms again. don't go down the path, the rabbit hole of Islam. It's not the truth. Just do the mushrooms and they will tell you what the truth is, etc., etc. And again, on this channel, unfortunately, I cannot talk about those subjects anymore. So therefore, guys, please do me a favor and subscribe to me on Rumble. I don't have the link posted right now, but if you go onto rumble.com and you just search for Bobbysperspective, you will see my channel. So there is only one, and that's me, Bobbysperspective on Rumble. Just search for it. You don't need a link. I think you can do it by yourself. I believe in you. And once I have over 1,000 subscribers over there, which seems little, but not many people are on Rumble just yet, then we will be able to live stream over there finally. And I would really love to bring at least the occasional live stream over to Rumble. Thank you very much. Over to Rumble, because there we can speak uncensored. That would be absolutely fantastic. Because there is a lot of interesting stuff to unpack there within the realm of New Age, etc., which we cannot speak about here on this channel, unfortunately. But anyways, it's cool to hear that, man. I'm very happy that you're content. In the end, that's what we're all looking for. We're looking for peace. We're looking for content within our hearts, for that peace that doesn't want anything else anymore. That is the greatest peace you can have. when the journey is finally over, this search for a particular thing, the search for identity, the search for God, right? Then getting closer, practicing getting closer to God, that you can do within your religion, that's awesome. But this consistent search is very draining, and I know what I'm speaking about because that's what I'm doing. This consistent search and looking further and looking further. At some point it leaves you exhausted. Thank you very much for the donation, my friend. I just saw Javid says I missed his super chat. Let me see, bro. I don't think so. I think we're gonna come to it, bro. 1 second. Sahib says, if Orthodox is the truth, what is their best argument, and can it be the truth when there are so many contradictions and we don't have the real Bible? What are the best arguments? See, I don't operate like that. What I mean with that is, there are certain arguments that you might make for a topic, and no matter how good the argument is, I personally cannot accept it as something true just because it sounds good. Okay? So therefore, if I have to list you good sounding arguments for Orthodoxy, it's not going to do the job for you, and it's not going to do the job for me either. Orthodoxy itself is based upon the Nicene Creed. When I read the Nicene Creed, I personally do not resonate with that. Okay, and as I said, I tried to make myself believe it. I can't. So I'm going to show it to you guys. 1 second. And Javid again, bro. I don't think I missed your super chat. I'm going through it. So if there's something that I missed, let me know. But I'm going through the other chats now, and I'm going to reach some super chats of you again. So here's the Nicene Creed. This is what the Church Fathers came to conclude in the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea, the Church Fathers got together and they canonized what it means to be Christian, essentially. So, I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. Up until now, I can agree. It's fine. And in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord. They disagree because even the Bible itself speaks about many sons of God. So I don't see Jesus as the only Son. Who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. The third day he rose again from the dead. Okay? So, as you can see, this is essentially the Shahada, if you will. This is essentially the Shahada, if you will. Not that you have to recite this to enter Christianity, that's not how it goes, but ultimately this is the Aqidah, right? This is the creed. And yeah, I was born into this. Then when I found out about it, I studied it, I tried to make it my doctrine, but never resonated with my heart. It is for me as well very problematic that this is a historical argument. An argument that is based upon a temporary time frame. That Jesus got buried, and then he descended into hell, and then on the third day he rose again from the dead. Might be, might not be. I don't know, I wasn't there. And I'm not saying this to be sarcastic or anything, by any means. I really mean this, because I wasn't there, right? With the Islamic declaration of faith, on the other hand, we're saying that there is no God worthy of worship but God, right? And that for me is a universal statement, which I can agree with, now as well. So this is not something that I can't attest to. But to this I really cannot attest, because this is me taking it upon complete faith. But just faith. I don't know anything about those events, because I wasn't there, and I have to take them all upon faith, and this then will lead to my salvation somehow. And I simply cannot accept it. So no matter what I try to do, I can't. And that's why, so you're asking about good arguments for Orthodoxy. again, there are many miracles within Orthodoxy. I think that would be quite interesting to see. And a lot of healings and whatnot.
Let's create a
Thank you very much.
Greek future where we all feel compassion.
And very, very deep philosophical explanations that I personally cannot even follow, because it does not resonate with me. So I would say a good channel upon Orthodoxy would be Jay Dyer. You can check it out if you want to look into it. He does a lot of critiques on Muslims as well, but respectful, not like a David Wood. It's a good channel, and I would say that he is somebody that defends Orthodoxy quite well. But yeah, it just doesn't resonate with me. As I said, for me it is extremely intellectual, just as atheists are arguing for their points, but it just doesn't do anything for me, because I cannot believe for the life of me that God is 3 in 1. It doesn't work, even if I wanted to. Sorry. Anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate it, bro. Let me get through the other super chats now. 1 second. How long have I been at it, man? Almost 2 hours. Okay. 1 second, 1 second. Yo, yo, yo. That's alright. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we are. Okay, Mason donated 6 euros. Thank you very much, Mason. Hi, Bobby. Love your journey. Could you maybe react to Christian bursted in tears after Yusuf Estes answered his question? Thank you very much for reminding me of this. There's actually something that people request of me in the very, very early stages of me starting to do reaction videos. It's a half-an-hour video, so I'm going to save it to my playlist, right? So I'm not going to react live to it, but I'm going to save it to my playlist, as you can see here. It's this video here.
And your occupation as well, please.
So yeah, definitely, and God willing, if I react to it tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, it should be up in a week, because I have plenty of videos lined up. But yeah, I'm saving it to my reaction playlist. Here you see it. Zack. There it is. Reaction playlist, and God willing, maybe next week. Thank you very much for that, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. Thank you, Mason. Javid Benscom says, damn, your 3,000 euro chain is 3,100 something US dollars. Yeah, it was a gift. So this is a gift that my parents essentially gave me when I was a baby. This is customs in Macedonia. And then when I got married, this should have been my chain. Yeah. So it has a lot of emotional value, of course. And I was walking down Vietnam with a tank top and my flashy gold chain out. Hey, it's my own fault. Okay? And just the day before that, there was a grandma begging on the street. I gave her some money and she told me, hey, hide that chain. And I was thinking to myself, why? I never got robbed in my life. What should happen, right? So I discarded it, and the next day, as I said, I'm just walking down the street with my then girlfriend. And as you can see now, I already got that chain prior to my wedding, because my parents thought that I'm never going to get married, so they just gave me that thing when I was, I think, 24 or so, not too sure. But anyway, so I'm walking through Vietnam with that big fat gold chain, and out of a sudden I just, bam, have this crash. And I don't really understand what is happening, so I just look around me, look down, and first thing I realized, like, okay, everything is there, my limbs are still there, nothing happened. I thought I had a car crash, and it was actually a scooter crash. There was a scooter rider that crashed into me, literally, and whilst crashing into me, grabbed my chain and just drove off as fast as he can. Absolutely crazy. This is how they steal chains. They drive into you with their scooter, almost crippling you. Yeah, and just stealing your chain. Absolute insanity. Thank God nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to my girlfriend either. But the chain is gone. So, yep, that's what happened. And therefore, if this guy can get his hand chopped off under Sharia, please do so. Please. He deserves it, for sure. Yeah, I never know what this man's struggle was, right? So I see it like that, and I'm not saying that to sound very humble, but honestly, something brought this guy into the situation. And I remember seeing him even in the back of my eye. He was an old man. He was an old man, definitely 55 or 60. And yeah, something made him rob me. A young guy, a man in his 60s had to rob me. So I don't want to be that guy. So therefore, whatever, let God decide over his faith. Javid, again, $2. Thank you very much, bro. You could have been a famous non-a-cappella rapper with that chain. Thanks, Salam Channel. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Thanks, Salam Channel. Salam TV, I think. Whatever. Salam Network. Yeah, that's the name. Salam Network. They're just copyright striking every Quran's recitation on my channel. It's amazing. Thank you very much, Salam Network. And yeah, would have been the biggest, toughest non-a-cappella poetry slam rapper, of course. Suf donated $5. Thank you very much. Did you look into Sapiens Institute's works videos? No, I have heard about them, but I haven't looked into it. They cover a lot of topics, including, but not limited to, theology, feminism, atheism, Trinity, religious physiology, liberalism, secularism, and many more. No, I heard about them. I think that Mohammed Hijab is involved with them. I think. But I haven't looked into their work at all. So, yeah, thank you very much for the tip. I might look into him. Why not? Thank you very much for the donation. Vox33 donated $3. Thank you very much, Vox33. Have you heard about the mysticism side of Christianity? Of course. Orders like Rosicrucians, the Essenes, yes. And what are your thoughts about them? Yeah, or Gnostics, even though Gnosticism is an umbrella term. I am a mystic at heart, so I went through all of those spiritual experiences because I wanted to understand God and fully realize God as much as I can, right? So a lot of mysticism in the Islamic world resonates with me a lot. Ibn Arabi or Rumi, for example, even though I know that many, especially Salafs, will call them heretics and whatnot. So yeah, the mystic side, no matter of which religion, ultimately resonates with me, because there is a saying, theologians disagree, but the mystics all agree. And I think that when it comes down to those unspeakable truths, ultimately, those truths that you cannot even put into text anymore, those truths that are universal, they stem from the one truth, which is God, and this is where the mystics with their mystical experiences can actually understand and resonate with. So therefore, no particular Christian mystical group that I resonate with necessarily, but the work of Meister Eckhart, for example, or Gnosticism in general. Yeah, all of those things resonate with me. And what I think about them is that I believe that any religion without a mystical aspect is of no worth. I really have to say that. That there must be a way for the human to have that mystical experience, to enter into the depths of the religion, to enter into the depths, into closeness to God. I think that without that, you just have spiritual dryness, and that doesn't bring you anywhere. Thank you very much for the donation, appreciate it. Javid says, I agree people should not steal, but what, everybody is absolutely dirt poor. Yeah, again, as it's said in the Sharia law, if everybody is just surviving for food, they don't have food, then it wouldn't apply. I always thought if you do steal, it wouldn't be from nice poor people or some poor owner, operator, small business. It would be some corporation like McDonald's or Walmart. Yeah, again, even from a Christian perspective, you shall not steal, so I don't see any excuse for it. And that comes from somebody that stole. When I went to Australia, I never stole in my life, but when I went to Australia, I went vegan. All of a sudden, I became a total degenerate. And in Australia, they had those self-serve, self-checkout machines. And it was crazy because people wouldn't really look. So you could just take an item, put it in your bag, act as if you scanned it, and they wouldn't check for it. So when I went vegan, I saw that veganism is very expensive. Protein powder, I think 1 kilogram was like 50 euros or something on those lines. And so I just didn't scan it and put it in my bag. And that's how I started stealing. Absolutely pathetic, and I'm ashamed of that, and I should have been punished, honestly. But anyways, that being said, veganism definitely leads you to dark places, man. It's crazy. It's a slippery slope. So I repented for that. May God forgive me. And I never stole a thing after that. And never did I steal before that either. But my point is that you shall not steal. That's the whole argumentation here. And I truly believe that there is always a way, even for the beggar, to generate an amount of money. If you're in a life and death situation, you can't anymore, you're gonna die, sure. But even for the beggars, when I see, for example, Brazil, again, I'm not in their shoes, so I don't want to judge them. But you're living surrounded by Amazon rainforest, man. You could go back to the way of your ancestors, if nothing else. You don't have to steal phones. You can go out and hunt something. There's definitely still enough wildlife out there that you could survive, right? But yeah, people nowadays, when they steal, they're stealing phones, they're stealing what? It's not necessarily about surviving for food, right? Anyways, in a society where everybody is dirt poor and everybody is broke, then there is nobody to steal off anyways. And I understand the Robin Hood mentality to steal off the rich, etc., but ultimately no, man. Even those rich people, they got into that position by their means. God granted it for them, so we should all try to make the best of our lives. I'm really of that firm conviction. There are Indian children editing videos on Fiverr, making more money than German teachers. Okay, so anybody can do it, man. That's how I see it. I like to keep it positive when it comes down to such things. Again, I'm not judging anybody. I know that, again, I stole myself, not even out of necessity, just because I was a complete idiot. And I know that people steal sometimes out of necessity, but if you bring yourself into that mindset that you always have to steal to get something, you're never going to get anything. Because that's not how life works. It's not about stealing and sneaking your way through life. Right? Then go out, hunt something, do something valuable with your life. MT donated 250 dirham, that is, right? Thank you very much. Hello Bobby, been watching your videos for months now, and it's been a pleasure seeing your journey towards absolute truth. Thank you very much. Can you react to this video as well, if you don't mind? Verse of the Throne, the miracle of Ayat al-Kursi, Quran gems. Absolutely, man. I'm gonna copy it. And as I said, probably I won't be able to react to this because it is a Quran recitation, right? I think. Let me see. Doopy-doopy-doop. That is commercials. 1 second. Because if it is a Quranic recitation... Oh man, this advertisement is running forever. If it is a Quranic recitation, then I cannot. Because Salam Network is copyright striking me.
It is made up of 9 sentences.
Okay, sweet. Good, it's a presentation. Alright, I'll save it to my reaction playlist. Here we go. Boom, saved. Thank you very much for the super chat. Gonna react to it, God willing, soon. Today we're finished with reaction videos because I'm streaming already for over 2 hours, guys. I'm gonna tune out soon. So now, if you have any recommendations, I'm saving them, and promised to my best capacities, I will react to all of your videos in upcoming separate videos. Thank you very much for the donation. Maiden Dude donated $10. Thank you very much. Hey Bobby, Mount Athos looks beautiful. It is absolutely paradise on earth. Otherwise I cannot describe it from its natural standpoint. And the people seem sincere. May Allah guide us all. They are 100% sincere people, yes. That is for sure. I don't know if you have seen Hajj footage, but here's a good one that captures its essence. Okay, that I'm gonna play. Thank you very much. Let's watch this together.
إذ نادى ربه نداء.
I'm gonna turn off, unfortunately, the sound again, guys. I don't want to repeat it again. Say cheers to Salam Network. I'm gonna play it in 5-second bursts, because I think like that I'm not gonna get copyright striked, and then I'm gonna put off the sound again. It's unfortunate. It really destroys the beauty of this video. That's only so much I can do. It's amazing how many people are there. That's the wildest thing. And all nations are there as well. Man, how many people look at this? That's wild. Especially if you watch The Message, like I did, and you see that small group of the messenger and his followers, and what it became. It's wild, man.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا.
It's either you believe or you don't believe, man. It's really like that, as the Quran describes. Either you're amongst the believers or the disbelievers. There's literally nothing in between. Because for the atheists, this is incomprehensible. They don't even understand what is going on. They can't comprehend why those people would burst out in tears, why they would worship even. It's a different world for them. Oh wow, that's crazy. There's a sky train there. It's wild, no? How modernity and this absolute primordial time is mixed together. It's crazy. You don't see that anywhere else like this. Look at this. It's so wild, man. So modern, so technologically advanced, but still in the middle of the desert. And then you have the people practicing just as it was practiced over 1,000 years ago. That's crazy. It's very pure. It's very, very pure. Wow, how many people, man. La ilaha illallah. Absolutely amazing video. Unfortunately, as I said, I had to turn off the sound consistently, so like that it obviously takes away from the atmosphere of the video, but nevertheless, it's just so impressive how many people there are. It's crazy. It's wild. There must have been thousands and thousands of people. Yeah. I really have to say, when I see things like that, that's when my curiosity kicks in. I can't even imagine not going there. That's the issue I'm having. Of course, that's to come from a genuine point, not just curiosity. But when I see something like that, I really would love to go. It looks amazing, man. Okay, anyways, let me get back to the super chats and wrap this up. Thank you very much, Maiden Dude. Appreciate it, bro. Javid Benscom says, it's okay, I'll send it again. It's weird, I didn't find it, man. I really looked. I cannot find it. Okay, here we go. Javid again, thank you very much, brother. I saw big black birds looking at me like future blueberry ice cream. I had to go warm up a couple of times, till one of the times when I went back to the station, everybody was gone, missed my train. So I had to take a taxi from Krakow to Warsaw. 5 hours, $500. Really, man? Hey, I don't know about Polish prices, but this definitely sounds like a ripoff. I can't imagine that it is worth $500. Don't they have Uber or Grab or something? $500 for 5 hours? I mean, it's a long taxi ride, don't get me wrong, but $500 is tremendous. Let me think about it. So, when you drive from Bangkok to Pattaya, that takes 1.5 hours. For that, you will most certainly pay like 2,000 baht. 2,000 baht would be... Yeah, it could be, man. 2,000 baht is, I believe, 80 euros, right? Nah, it's not 80 euros. What am I saying? 1 second. 2,000 Thai baht to US dollars. Yeah, like $57. So that's for 1.5 hours. Yeah, maybe $300. I don't know, man. $500 sounds a lot. I think somebody ripped you off. $500 is really a lot. $300 sounds reasonable, but $500 is way too much. But anyways, hey, in the end at least you got a cozy taxi and you didn't have to sit in the train. But that being said, it's strange, man. Why was it so cold? Didn't they have anything down there? Like isolation? Something? Why were you freezing so much? Or was it due to your surgery? That you were just undercooled, low blood sugar and whatnot? I don't know about those train stations in Warsaw. I know that in Bulgaria they were very cold as well, I remember. But not as cold that you would potentially die over there. Crazy story, man. See, now you have a crazy story to tell, as I said in the previous live streams when you were headed over there. Something will happen, that's for sure. So now you have a crazy story to tell. But, again, most important thing is that you're healthy now, and hopefully healthier through that treatment. Sajanjua donated 22 NOK, thank you very much. What do you think about Jiddu Krishnamurti's work? Krishnamurti has been recommended to me quite a bit. I read 1 or 2 quotes, but I don't know too much about him. I think that he was into non-dualism as well, so therefore I guess I would agree with most of it. But I haven't looked extensively into Krishnamurti's work, and therefore I cannot say. But I could react to a video or so. Why not? Not now, but I might save something to my playlist and diversify a little bit. Thank you very much, Sat. Appreciate it. Aussie Muslim donated 10 Aussie dollars. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers. Zdravo, Bobby. Zdravo. This is Lukman, Aussie Croatian revert. Your Aussie Croatian and your name is Lukman. That's interesting. I sent you a super chat last time. Yeah. Under Lukman, right? Not under Aussie Muslim. Was a different name. This is my new Dawa channel. Yeah, that's why. Sharing my story, converting to Islam, etc. A shout out would be appreciated for the channel. Okay, guys, check this out. Of course, bro.
Let's create a bright green future where we all feel compassion.
Absolutely. Let me try to open up your channel. 1 second. One second. When I type Aussie Muslim, it doesn't show up right away. And I cannot click on your profile. Just 1 second. I want to try to find your channel, and I'm going to share it with my viewers for sure. But when I type in Aussie Muslim, it shows different videos. 1 second. Nope, I cannot find your channel.
Let's create a bright green future where we all feel compassion.
That's what YouTube does, man. When you have a small channel, when you just get started, then they're suppressing even that. They make it very, very hard to grow your channel. But nevertheless, there must be a way. Wait a second. You did it via Super Chat, right? Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can open up here. Just 1 second, guys. We have a Super Chat support here. And here. Okay. go to channel. Fantastic. Okay, you have shorts, and here is a video. Okay. Yeah, you look Croatian, man. I can definitely see the Slav in you. Okay. 1 second. History. Here we go. Okay. That didn't take too long. Here we go. Here you can see the channel Aussie Muslim. Like this. You can see it. Aussie Muslim. As for right now, 38 subscribers. So go and subscribe. See, I subscribed as well, and I'm gonna stay notified. Aussie Muslim. When you look for Aussie Muslim, however, you're not gonna find the channel. I tried. So you're not gonna find it because the channel just started right now. It's fairly recent, and therefore I would suggest you type Aussie Muslim growing my beard after converting to Islam. Muslim revert struggles, for example, and like this, you're gonna find this channel. I like the setup, bro, because that's how I used to do videos as well in my car. I think there's nothing more relaxing and brings you more into the flow of things than riding your car. It's perfect. I love it. Nobody hears you, you're just in your car, talking, telling a story. I absolutely love it. So yeah, guys, just support the brother here. Go over there, Aussie Muslim, subscribe to his channel, check out his beard struggle. You definitely beat me, man. Look at this. I thought I have a good beard. Look at this guy, man. His beard is way bigger than mine. I have to regrow this thing. And it's more neat than mine as well. Man, what is going on here? Give me all kinds of beard envy. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate the support. Guys, head over to Aussie Muslim and support the bro. Subscribe to his channel. Hit the notification bell. Leave him a thumbs up as well. There you go. And check out his stories. Thank you very much for the support, brother. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Okay. Javid donated again. Thank you very much, Javid. So far, my total support to your channel is $949. That is absolutely insane, man. Crazy. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Working on paying you back for the chain. Sorry, bro. Applause for Javid, first and foremost. That is absolutely wild. Thank you so much. I didn't keep track. I know that you're supporting pretty much every stream you're here. I didn't calculate, didn't count it together, but that is substantial. Thank you so much for your support. As I always say, guys, you guys make this channel. So through your support, this channel can flourish and can function to begin with. So thank you so much, Javid, one of the biggest supporters of this channel. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, brother. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. KN donated $5. Thank you. Fedas donated $5. Thank you as well. Says, may Allah bless you and guide all of us. That is pretty much the only prayer we can really do. Ask for guidance. That's how I see it. The will of God shall be done, and ask for guidance, and hopefully we will be among the guided ones. Fedas donated again. You donated twice, brother. Thank you very much. And says it in capital letters. May Allah bless you and guide all of us. Amen. Thank you very much. Matt Savagery donated $2. Thank you very much. And says, were you on Juicy Juice in Physical Prime? Yeah, I talked about it in one video. It has been taken down by YouTube as well, I think. Yeah, because of dangerous misinformation. So I have to be very, very careful when I speak about such things here on my channel. It is, yeah, essentially very, very strange, because ultimately I know plenty of other channels that talk about all kinds of substances and whatnot, but every time I do it, for whatever reason, my videos get deleted and I get striked for dangerous, hazardous information and whatnot. So yeah, when I was in peak bodybuilding condition, I think anybody can, yeah, put one and one together and see what was going on, right? So when I was in my 20s, I think my peak was at 24, so this 11 years ago. It is needless to say what was going on there. I don't think that anybody is delusional about that, right? So I'm not claiming netty on that whatsoever. I was essentially pursuing the stage. I want to do whatever it takes, and so I did, absolutely. And that's all I'm going to say here. Abdullah donated $5, thank you very much. 3 weeks ago I was in Mecca, amazing, and saw a crowd of people. Then I noticed this. It stayed this way for so long. Subhanallah, was interesting. Okay, let us have a look. I saw this one on Instagram, I think, on a short. I showed it to my wife as well. She didn't believe it. She said, it's probably a sick bird. That must be it. The bird was sick. There's nothing more to it. But yeah, apparently it was a bird praying. It's the craziest thing ever. And this was in Mecca, huh? No way. I'm not Muslim, but I have to say, subhanallah, that is absolutely insane. Wow. I would like to see what the bird did after that. Just because I'm critical, I'm skeptical, I would like to see what happened afterwards. Did it take off? Was it healthy? If you were there, please let me know. Because, again, my wife saw it and she was, nah, that's just a sick bird. The head is hurting. That's wild. Look at him, he's praying. That's the craziest thing ever, man. If this bird really, after that, flew away and is absolutely healthy, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Wow. Just wow, man. Absolutely wild. Alright, guys. I think I went through all the super chats. Oh no, we have one more. By Muhammad Hassan, who donated a whopping $50. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for this absolutely generous super chat. Thank you so much. And he simply says, hi and take care with a mask on. That's what I'm trying to do, brother. I'm using the black seed oil recommended by the Muslim community. I hope to get my Zamzam water soon when the Thai customs finally let me have it. And other than that, I'm just eating fruits and meats. Very hungry, but this is what I have to do. And God willing, hopefully very soon, healthy again, so I can go back to train and live life like a functioning member of society, I hope. Anyways, thank you so much, Mohammed. I really appreciate it, bro. The biggest donation of tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, everybody, for supporting. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, guys. But now I'm gonna tune out. It is already 11:20 p.m. over here in Thailand. Way too late. I have to take a shower, eat some fruits, eat some meat, and spend some time with my wife. She's already wondering what I'm doing here. Why am I gone for so long? That is the hubby struggle. Guys, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart. It has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Thank you so much for watching the videos. If you want to support this channel, not only through Super Chats, Streamlabs, Patreon, of course, please just do me a favor and like the streams, like the videos, share the videos if you can. If you are in Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram groups, share them there. That would be amazing as well. Like that we get a bigger outreach that supports the channel. So thank you very much for everybody that does that. And if you want to further support, I say it always, you can just check the links in the description box. There you have all kinds of organ meats. Yes, they are halal. I swear it says it on the packaging. If you buy it and it doesn't say it on the packaging, I'm gonna refund you myself, right? It's not even my company, I'm just affiliating for them, but I'm gonna refund you. It's halal. Promised. That being said, other than that, all my links are there as well, so you can contact me via my description box. I'm not the WhatsApp bot in my chat box or in my comment section. I'm trying to delete all of those bots, but they keep on popping up. so I cannot restrict them forever, right? Anyways, thank you so much again, guys. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. May God bless you all. Much love and peace.